Okay, so we're continuing our series on the process, talking about Zabe Mortgage. So now the very first step after the sale, the first step of our process is discovery. And so this is just kind of reflecting on our discovery session. In fact, we actually recorded the whole discovery session, which if you want to see access to that, that is available in the strategy course on the Butler box. If you go to agency.butlerbranding.com, shameless plug. But the first step is, again, it's discovery. And so here we had 3 people. It was basically just led by me. So I'm the lead strategist at Butler. Other agencies, their CEO isn't the strategist. They have someone else come and do strategy. That's completely fine. It just so happens that I'm the lead strategist here at Butler. Eventually, maybe we'll have other people that can do that. But this was just me facilitating the meeting with Zabe Mortgage, and we had 3 representatives from the company. We had Fidel, who is the sales manager, the team leader, senior loan officer. Basically, he's the primary owner of the company. It's a family-owned company, and Fidel is the lead sales manager as well as team leader. Adel, which is Fidel's brother, he's the branch manager, and he's in charge of operations. So I believe they're 50-50 partners, or at least they're kind of equal in partnership in the company, and Adel runs more of the operations, and he's the branch manager. And then Karina was the office manager, day-to-day operations and the functions of the office. She handled scheduling, and it was kind of like marketing was a collaborative thing. Nobody was really in charge of marketing, nobody was in charge of branding, they just did it all together, and that's why they were looking for an agency to help them. And so after introductions, just so I could get a feel for who was in the room, we started the discovery session, which I've covered in other videos. We start with an introduction to what discovery is. And you know, it's this 4-part framework that we learn about the business, the brand, the users, and the marketing. It's uncovering insights that help my creative team execute whatever it is they need to do. And so we went through all of the exercises. For this, I reviewed the process. The process for them was about 10 to 12 weeks. And I show them where we are in the process. This is me setting expectations, helping them to understand what the process is going to look like, so they're not thinking that we're dragging our feet, because between discovery and the strategy reveal, sometimes that's 2 to 3 weeks to where the client's not hearing back from us as we're developing a strategy. So I reviewed the process, I reviewed the scope, which includes the challenges that we talked about in the sales process. I reviewed all of the deliverables, and then we talked about rules. Now, this is important. I always want to make sure that we cover rules. The rules is everybody has to participate. This is going to be a fruitless endeavor if it's just me talking the whole time. No judgment or criticism. Typically, I say that for the people who may be shy and reserved, who might be afraid to say anything. We want to make sure that we leave a safe space for everybody to share. Avoid jargon. I always tell people, talk to me like I'm a 5th grader. Pretend like I'm 12. Respect the time box. I don't have physical time boxes, but I do have in my mind just kind of like allocated times for how long we should be spending on a particular category or subject. And then I just ask for permission to lead the meeting, and then obviously have fun. And so after the introduction, which that introduction usually lasts about 10 to 15 minutes, then I go into the business. I'm probably gonna spare all of the details of the business. Maybe there'll be a couple of screen rolls of the discovery session that day, but what I'm looking at right now on my screen is a picture of what happened on the whiteboard. And so we were in person. When it's in person, we could do some more physical activities, but I can utilize the whiteboard. If it's just through Zoom, then I'm only utilizing my slide deck. And so this day was a mixture of some whiteboard notes as well as my slide deck that I was just updating on the spot. So in a nutshell, Zabe Mortgage, they're a mortgage company, but they wanted to position themselves as being completely different than the competition. Now, everybody wants to do that. So you have to really dig in to find out, how are you different? Are you actually different? And what we did was we identified the fact that, you know, what is the traditional process for getting a loan? And they mentioned a few key things. You know, most people don't know their loan officer's name. You know, if you've purchased a home, you would be a rare case if you can remember who your loan officer was, or even the loan company, the brokerage that helped you even get your loan. Usually the relationship is with the realtor. And so Zabe was saying that, you know, they don't really like the traditional way of getting loans because this is a huge investment that can affect your family for 30 plus years, and it shouldn't be done over a 30-minute phone conversation. So they really like to get to know who their clientele is and figure out what the situation, what their unique situation is, to find the right loan products that would work for them. Traditionally, the realtor goes directly to the loan officer, kind of bypasses their process and just says, hey, I got a buyer who's interested in a home. They need to pre-qualify for this amount. Let us know. And it's just a really fast thing. Zabe actually doesn't like that process. They don't even prefer necessarily to get all of their leads from realtors because they want to work directly with the client at first. And so they say, okay, well, you don't go directly to the loan officer. You have to go through a whole process to figure out, you know, what is your situation. And they said actually 9 times out of 10 people aren't ready to buy when they think they are, and what they need is a game plan to figure out how to get ready. And so these are all the unique things that I'm gleaning from the conversation, that there's a traditional way and then there's the Zabe way. And that was really our focus, was like, let's focus on what is the Zabe way and how can we make a dichotomy between the Zabe way and the traditional way. And so after learning about their business, we learned about their brand, those distinctives, the things that make them different. I talked about their story, the one thing they want to be known for. We went through a couple of different messaging exercises. We identified the voice and the tone they want to have in their messaging. We talked about their design style, the design style that makes sense. What do they like about their current design? What do they dislike about it? And then we talked about the marketing. The marketing, we mapped out the user's journey through the conversion funnel. So starting from awareness to research, to engagement, to conversion, loyalty, and advocacy, all of the different brand experiences that fit in the conversion funnel. And then we talked about what their primary marketing goals are. This was a really important piece because not only did they want to hire us for this one-off engagement, which was, you know, discovery, strategy, billboard design, and website design, they're looking for an agency to continue to work with them after this to help them with all their marketing efforts. And so I had to figure out, you know, what are your actual goals? And we listed, I think it was like 6 different goals that one could potentially have. Brand positioning and spreading awareness were their top 2 goals. And brand positioning meaning the way home buying should be. They wanted to position their agency, their insurance agents, their mortgage agency as being the one place that you could go to where this is how you should buy a home, as opposed to the others. And then the second thing is spreading awareness, like redefining what that experience is. So that's interesting because a lot of companies, they come to us and they say, well, our number 1 marketing goal is to generate leads or to boost sales, whereas theirs was brand positioning and spreading awareness about the way the home buying experience should be. Other goals could include name recognition, direct sales, product or service announcement, but they didn't really care about those. And so we're going to develop our marketing strategy based off of their goals. So then after the marketing questions, I just asked if there was any final thoughts, and then we ended the discovery session. We spent about 3.5, 4 hours together, plus lunch. And I told them that the next steps were to let me and my team develop a strategy. I would review this with my team, and then we would get back to them in about 2.5 to 3 weeks to reveal our findings, and then we would take it to the next step after that. And so I guess the next video, you'll probably hear from some of the people on our team about how they came to their creative decisions. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Make sure this content gets out to more people. And if you are a creative entrepreneur and you're looking to level up, maybe you feel stuck, learn from my mistakes. At agency.butlerbranding.com, we have a free webinar that talks about everything I've learned in scaling Butler Branding since we started in 2012. I'm talking about everything I've learned from brand positioning, marketing, sales, strategy, and project management. So learn to level up for free at agency.butlerbranding.com.